Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, dear friends, welcome to this annual Christmas dinner. I am your president and this is my Christmas speech to you. First of all, I want to start to say that we are here with an amazing group of people. We are all from different countries, different backgrounds, different cultures, but we all have the same goal, to communicate better. And we sit here as friends and sharing dinner. I have to say that this year was an incredible year for Toastmasters. Not only do we have a distinguished Toastmaster in our midst, we also reached the status of President Distinguished Club, which means that we are a quality club. And Toastmasters is just an incredible organization because we have a very good program how to teach people to communicate better, to speak better, and become better leaders. And it's very affordable, but still sometimes we don't use it, much to our benefits. What I see in this club, and we have to maintain the quality of this club, is that a lot of people come in and have great expectations and very good motivation. But after a while, we see that a lot of people just, lie down or never come back or linger to start their icebreaker. So how come? Limitations come in the way, I believe. Limitations like time, energy, also transport, money, sometimes just it's not working for them and they're not coming back. And also sometimes we are not as fearless as we seem. And sometimes we go through dark periods of times. So I was thinking about this one because we want to be a quality club. So how do we maintain this? And then I was sitting this week and I was binge watching TED Talks. Sometimes I do that, it's very soothing. And I stumbled upon this TED Talk which was called Isolation is a Dream Killer. And there was this woman, Barbara Scher, and she had this magical formula for making dreams come true. And she said, you have a dream and you have limitations. And when you talk about your dream, and especially the big ones, the vulnerable ones, then people are dream killers. You're too young, too old, you don't have enough money, you're not strong enough for that. Do you really want to go through all these efforts? Do you really want to take that risk? So that's not working. But if you talk about your limitations, then people think that you're nagging, that you're a negative person. I think you're a half-glass empty person. People are not very nice when you talk about your dreams or your limitations. But if you bring those together, then the magic happens. And she had this success groups in the United States, which means that people would assemble in a room and people would talk about their dreams and their limitations. So I will give you one example. She gave a dozen, and she had a paper, which is of course not the Toastmaster way, but she had a paper, and she read all these examples, and I give you one. There was this man who lived in New York City, something in real estate or something, and he wanted to be a cowboy. So every time when he talked about it, people said, you want to be a cowboy? Really? You live in New York City and you never rode a horse in your life. So he came to the success group of Barbara Scher, so he stood there and he had to talk about his dream and about his limitation. So he said, I want to be a cowboy, but I live in New York City and never rode a horse in my life. And then the magic happened. Someone stood up and said, I know someone in Texas, and if you want, you can come over for the weekends and learn how to ride a horse. And really he did that, and he became a cowboy. So this is the magic can happen when you talk about your dreams and your limitations. When I talk in the club with people and I talk about their motivation, they're always motivated. They say, I really want to go to Toastmasters. I really want to communicate better. I want to learn how to be a better speaker. I want to become a leader. But then the limitations come and it's not going that fast as they want to be. So let us today be honest with each other. What are our limitations? What are your goals in Toastmasters? And what is blocking you? Because if we know this, then the magic can happen. And we can make it bigger. You know, maybe even we can talk about our dreams, the vulnerable ones, the one that you never share. And you can tell your dream and your blockage. And you can make it even bigger. You can go back home, you can go to the Christmas dinner table and ask your loved ones, what is your dream and what is your blockage? And don't say it in a way like, what's your dream and why hasn't it happened yet? No, just listen with interest. Because I think that's very important, because listening sometimes is enough for people just to, you know, come with a solution themselves. So, I want to raise a glass, because I want to say this. I think that everything is possible. I think that we can move mountains if we want. I think that people can change their minds every day, and that money sometimes comes from unexpected places, and that sometimes a stranger can, you know, reach out and help you. But if we don't honor our limitations, then I don't think that we give ourselves enough credit. So keep your dreams and be honest with yourselves. And then I think that maybe even our good year's resolutions will come true this year. So this is to a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a very, very Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.